If, for example, I was walking in the jungle and I heard a Sun Conure and a Green Cheek Conure, I would definitely be able to tell the difference, and one is louder than the other. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the difference in noise levels between Sun Conures and Green Cheek Conures. Our Sun Conure Mango was definitely much louder than our Green Cheek Mia. And I have experienced hearing various different Sun Conures and Green Cheek Conures, and the noise level is definitely different. Even though Green Cheek Conures and Sun Conures are both cute, affectionate, social, cuddly, sweet, and colorful birds, their noise levels and their vocal tendencies can be quite different. Since Mango was our first parrot, we're gonna start with Sun Conures. Sun Conures are definitely louder. So if you're wondering which conure is going to be louder, it's going to be a Sun Conure, and Gen-Day conures are also really loud. So those conures are going to be a little bit bigger, they're going to have stronger beaks, and they are also going to be louder. Sun Conures have a really high volume, and Sun Conures are known for being extremely loud. Their screeches and screams can reach up to 120 decibels. Their typical sounds are sharp, high-pitched screeches and repetitive calls, and they can be vocal throughout the day, especially if they're bored or left alone or missing their owners. They naturally call to communicate, and their flock calling instincts are strong. But what about Green Cheeks? Let's talk a little bit about Green Cheeks. Now, Green Cheeks can also be loud because all parrots are naturally loud animals. A Green Cheek Conure's volume is low to moderate. They are considered one of the quieter conures, if you can consider any conure quiet. They don't get as loud as Sun Conures, but I feel that they are more vocal throughout the day. And the typical sounds of a Green Cheek Conure are soft chirps, whistles, chattering. They can still squawk, but it's usually not as ear-piercing. And throughout this video, you're probably hearing Mia's little chirps in the background. On average, a Green Cheek's vocalizations are around 60 to 70 decibels in comparison. That's about as loud as a normal conversation or background music. At their loudest, they usually hit about 80 decibels, which is comparable to a ringing phone or an alarm clock. With Green Cheek Conures, they tend to vocalize more throughout the day, I find, than Sun Conures do, but they're not as loud. So they're a little quieter than a Sun Conure, but they can be loud, and they are loud more often throughout the day. They like to chatter, they like to whistle. If I leave Mia in the other room and she's like, I want to be with you, she will scream or say her name over and over. Of course, it depends on the bird, because some birds, they will be loud, they will scream. If they're bored, if they're frustrated, if they're left alone for long periods of time, if they're hormonal, there's different reasons that birds do scream.
If you take on a bird and then you aren't necessarily prepared to give them that attention, then you start seeing more of the behaviors you don't want to see. Maybe they'll scream because they want attention. Maybe they'll start very destructive behaviors because they're wanting that attention, but you can't provide it. And it's why it's so important to just think about it. Anyone who wants a parrot should be able to get one if they want it, but they should know what they're getting themselves into, and then they can't go and say, oh, well, I wasn't prepared for it. Because it's like with any pet, when they get bought as a gift, it's just not ideal really, and people are just like, oh, well, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
And it's a mindset that's changing a lot of people. It's the old mindset was just an animal, so who cares? It's like just a kid, who cares? Now people are starting to think, well, hang on, these are things we're choosing to take on. We need to provide for them and do the best for them.
I find that in our personal experience, when it came to Mango and it comes to Mia, Mango would be so loud and scream when he was really excited. Like that was when he was the most ear piercing, and then eventually he would settle down and he would be fine. Are those the babies? Are those the babies for the mommies? And Mia, she also screams when she's excited or expressing all types of other emotions. But I find that she is just way more relentless and persistent. Like if she gets into a scream fit, she will scream and scream and scream and scream and scream, and she could just go without end, it feels like. But with Mango, he would eventually stop. Now, there are ways that you can manage the noise levels, like making sure that your bird has plenty of toys, foraging opportunities, a big space, exercise, a healthy diet, lots of social interaction, lots of exercise, etc., 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 etc. All the things we talk about in our videos and on the Parrot podcast. But you can't eliminate it completely. So you just have to accept that parrots, whether it's a conure or not, they are loud pets. On the topic of loudness, birds are loud pets.
Yeah,
They
they
can
are.
be.
It's not easy. I will say that to anyone listening. It's another job. As far as Bean, since he was with me for so long, like just next to me during COVID, all that stuff, he has, like most conures, kind of attachment issues. He's very clingy. So say if he goes in his cage, I walk out of the room, he starts flock calling, like contact calling, trying to see me. So then I gotta say if I'm cooking, well, making cereal, I don't really cook that much. I stick my head out.
Pouring the milk in the bowl.
Yeah, just pouring the milk in the bowl. I'm like, hey man, like, and then he stops. Or like if my wife is cooking and he needs to see her, so she's got to stop cooking, be like, Bean, I'm right here. Like it's a strenuous little bit. Sometimes it's stressful.
So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like, you can check out our video on how to keep your Sun Conure quiet, where I share lots of tips that worked for us to keep Mango quieter so he wasn't as loud or as loud as frequently. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for cute Conure vibes, and we'll see you in the next video.